Hello, everybody. Welcome to our second episode of the Horror Rumble. We're your hosts, Kory and Jess.
Or Jess and Kory.
Or Jess and Kory. However you want to look at it. Tonight, as you probably know, we're talking about the Puppet Master franchise. Should be pretty exciting. We got a lot of great guests tonight, and we'll go ahead and start bringing them in here in a minute or less. But I want to give a shout out to Christian Hanna Horror. He's a big fan of this franchise, and unfortunately his schedule could not work out to where he could be here tonight, but hopefully we'll get him on one of these shows. Anyway, our first guest, are you ready to bring everybody in, Kory?
Yeah, let's go.
All right. First guest from Jay the Stingray channel and Region Free, we have Jay the Stingray. What's up, buddy?
Hello. Glad to be here, guys. Thanks for having me.
Glad to have you as always, man. And from Slaughterport channel, we have Jake. What's up, good sir?
What's up, Jake?
What's going on, guys? Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming. I know you were telling me you were a big fan of Full Moon, so this is perfect for you. And our next guest, this man who needs no introduction, but we're going to introduce him anyway, Orc.
What's up?
Hello. Bringing those
ass man.
Dank memes.
Dank memes and laser beams.
Thanks for coming on, Orc.
Anything that's not trauma, I'm here for you. Yeah.
Well, there you are. Yeah, he was saying in some private messages. Yeah, it was trauma versus Full Moon. He's like, fuck trauma.
Fuck it. Do it live.
And last but not least, we have from Flesh Wound Features, Daniel Shine.
What's up, guys?
Hello, Dan.
Nice to meet you, Kory. I don't think I've been on a stream with you yet.
No, we haven't, but it's nice to meet you too.
The Hat Man.
Jay, live from Christian's place again.
Yeah, man.
Respect.
Got my new posters up.
It's got him in the crawl space. Damn.
Just hung those up fresh, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know if we should tiptoe around. We got a lot to cover on this episode. There's a lot of movies in this franchise, so should we just dig into it, Kory?
Yeah, let's go ahead and go.
Okay. Well, first up, of course, we have the original Puppet Master. Kory, I don't know if you want to start us off and give us a quick summary and then your thoughts.
First Puppet Master, there's a hotel, the Bodega Bay Inn, which is the main, what's the word I'm looking for here?
Setting,
yeah. For most of the first few movies, 4 psychics show up and at the behest of a colleague or whatever and find out that he's died. Then mayhem ensues. So I can remember the first time I watched it, I actually thought it was quite boring, and it was not one of my favorite ones at first. And then actually rewatched it recently, and it's really not that bad. I actually like that one a lot. So
Yeah, the first one, as far as I went, I think it was solid enough. Some of these kind of, if you were young, I don't know if you rented them, you were expecting something different, and then you got this. But I think the first one, if I recall, was good enough that I went back to the franchise when I saw part 2 on the shelf. You know, you got Uncle Lewis from Christmas Vacation as Toulon in this one. Is that the only one he appears in? As Toulon?
Is that William Hickey?
William Hickey.
I think.
Yeah. They use him in later ones when they show the opening scene again, but I think that's the only one he was actually in.
That's what I thought.
Yeah,
it was a
William
solid enough
Hickey.
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he was Uncle Lewis in Christmas Vacation, right? My stogie. The blessing. Yes. Well, let's welcome a few people in the chat real quick. Blu-rays 2.0. Thanks for coming. Indie Phantom.
What's up?
Thanks
Indie
for
Phantom?
coming on over from Dan's show. And of course, friend of the shows, the Cornelius Collection, Hayden.
I love you, Hayden.
We all do. We all do. But yeah, I remember this first one, and it really probably the first 3 at least, like the video cover. And the old video stores, I'm sure you all do too, who at least are around my age, Corey's age. So that's pretty iconic. And yeah, it was just cheesy, but fun. I don't know. What do you think of it, Jay?
You know, it's been quite a while since I've seen the first one, but kind of like what you guys said, I wasn't really like that impressed with it. But you know, I don't remember which one in the franchise I saw first because you know they were really pumping them out there for a little while. But it was a huge, you know, when I was a kid growing up, you know, these movies were very popular.
They did have their cult following for sure from the beginning. Well, Dan, how about your first? Or excuse me, Jake, we'll go clock with Jake. Well, how was your first experience?
Man, I haven't been a kid, but you know, I loved this one. It's still probably my favorite. The dolls are actually evil. You know, in 1 or 2, they're kind of evil. And then after that, they're kind of the good guys. But I mean, this one's great because this is what kicked off Full Moon. This was the first Full Moon film. They teamed up with Paramount and did the home video release. And that's where they made a lot of money because this is like kind of peak of the home video market, stuff going straight to home video. And this does have a Barbara Crampton cameo in it in the beginning. But yeah, this one's solid.
Like you said, that yeah, you're right. I think it was around the start of like the direct to video people making movies.
Yeah, well, this is right after.
Well, the first one, I think, didn't it get a theatrical release, and then that kind of
limited.
It was supposed to, but he went decided to go straight to video. This is the first film after Empire.
Yeah, like when the theatrical, like horror theatrically really kind of died off a good bit in the 90s, and it was really a lot of straight to video stuff. That's when I saw a lot of Full Moon stuff was, well, I guess I didn't have an option, but straight to video.
And welcome, Steak Sauce. Thanks for dropping by, buddy. And those in the chat, bear with me. This is only my second stream actually running, popping up stuff in the chat, so might be a little slow on that. Mr. Ork, do you know Puppet Master, the first original film at all?
Yeah, I do. I was in the process of moving when I lived in New York, and I remember I had basically a CRT TV. I like just moved into the house. I think I was like 9 or 10, and I had a CRT TV. I carried that into the house, big fucking TV, and then VCR. Plug those both in, one outlet apiece, and then put the VCR in a U-Haul box, and that's how I watched the first one, sitting on the floor.
Awesome. Well, what'd your nine-year-old self think of it?
I thought it was pretty awesome because like it was basically I haven't seen all these movies, but like Child's Play and Puppet Master were like my go-tos as like a kid. Yeah.
Sweet. Well, and Dan, how about your first experiences?
Well, for me, growing up, Empire / Full Moon was huge in my childhood. I worshipped Charles Band. I absolutely adore Full Moon. Even later, and I've talked about this before, the late 90s period, early 2000s, where some people feel that they lost a lot of their momentum when that Paramount deal went away after Castle Freak in 95. I don't actually consider that a drop off, at least not right away, because they really made a lot of unique stuff. And Puppet Master being the original Full Moon film when they did the crossover in 89, I can remember being a little kid at the video store and seeing the artwork first, of course, and just like, oh my God, like toys coming to life. I mean, and I'm a weird kid, so they have weapons and they kill people. How freaking cool is that? And yeah, so it holds a very special place in my heart. Full Moon is yeah, there you go. I mean, yeah, it holds a very special place in my heart. Full Moon Empire is, to this day, and there's nothing behind me, but I have pretty much all the merchandise. I have all the movies. It's very, very important to me.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad you're here for it. Anybody got any final thoughts and words? Anybody in the chat on the very first Puppet Master movie? And by the way, welcome Kory from S'mores and Doors. Billy Bean.
I think it's not the best Puppet Master, in my opinion, though. I should have added that. Like, we'll get to that for me. It's not a perfect film. It's just perfect to me. There's a lot you can pick at, but yeah.
I can agree with that statement for sure. It's definitely not my favorite. It's definitely not my least favorite, especially when you get down the road with them. But it's in the middle, maybe.
Yeah, I get
better
that.
ones.
Yeah, David Schmoller, the director, has also done classics in the genre. He did Tourist Trap. He did Crawl Space with Klaus Kinski. I mean, he's made better films, but my God, I mean, a kid, how do you not fall in love with Puppet Master?
Yeah.
I don't know who you're talking to, Billy.
If I remember correctly, Charles
man.
Band said he kind of got the inspiration for this when he did Dolls.
Mm-hmm.
When Empire worked on Dolls.
Yeah, Stuart Gordon. That's a great movie, too.
There was one other little note I wanted to add to that. When I was actually rewatching the first one recently, my wife was sitting in the room, and the scene with Leech Woman and the guy tied to the bed.
Yes.
She looks over, looks at the screen, goes, "That doll is creepy," and then had to turn away because when she was vomiting out the leeches, it actually made her sick to her stomach. So it still has some sort of grossed out effect to my wife. So
yeah.
And the first
works,
one,
then. Sorry, go ahead.
and the first one, I just love how they keep using the elevator. That shit's fucking hilarious. I was just sitting there as a little kid, laughing my ass off. You just see Pinhead.
There are definitely some just even comic visuals of watching all these, really. Well, I guess. Oh, Jake, you have, I don't know, are you ready yet? If you want to show any or the first one?
I'll just start with the next one. Yeah, I don't have
the next one. That's right. You showed me.
Next.
He's got something cool to show us all. Well, shall we move on to, does anybody in the chat, like I said, yet to watch the first movie. Well, let's move on to the next one then. We'll carry this along. Puppet Master 2. Kory.
This is my personal favorite Puppet Master. This is the one this was actually the first one I saw and absolutely fell in love with this one. And in my opinion, one of the biggest mistakes ever made in horror was Full Moon not following up on that last scene in this movie. So, I think the only other real note I have on this is whoever it was that played Wanda was fucking hot. So
I have to say similar for it's one of my favorites, if not the favorite. It's pretty close. There's a couple of them. I was so excited watching this movie. I'll get to that actually, the ending. But it has a little bit of a slow part or a slow scene in the middle of the movie, but it's definitely still worth getting through, one of the better ones. I love the modern day setting. I guess the first one was basically modern day at the time, but this one really was more you're there at that time, I guess. Early 90s, 90. And the ending, I was so excited to watch the continuation of Puppet Master 2. Them going where they're going to like an orphanage or a children's hospital.
I actually wrote that down, Jess. It's the Baldstone Institute for the Mentally Troubled Tots and Teens.
Well, I was excited to go there, and unfortunately, as we'll talk about, we never made that. We never made it there, so that was the biggest bummer of part 2. But otherwise, it's again one of my favorites as well. How about you, Jay?
Oh yeah, definitely. I enjoyed over part 1 quite a bit. I was just trying to remember what it is. Like I watched all these like together, like fairly recently, about a year ago. So they're all kind of like jumbled up in my mind. I'm trying to get everything together. Is this the one where we see the origin of Leech Woman?
No,
that's
the
she.
next
Was
one.
she in the
3.
Yeah.
3. Okay.
Yes.
Sorry,
So-
I'm all mixed up.
You see
that's
this
same with
live
6 Shooter, right?
Leech Woman, yes.
This is actually the one where they introduced Torch.
Yes. Yeah.
Torch. Okay.
The dude, obviously, with the arm that blasts the big fireball.
I think they said that the one that actually has the flamethrower on it could shoot up to 10 feet.
Yeah.
The puppet?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I did not know that.
Fuck yeah. Oh, yeah.
He may be Torch as a kid in this one. We don't really know.
I think he did. When I was kind of
I-
rehashing some of it, I think he torched him.
Yeah.
Hi, Amanda Soup.
Hi,
They
Amanda.
don't show it, but
I think that's
kinda
my lady.
implied.
I've never
Hello,
seen her jump
milady.
on here, so hi, Amanda.
We've got Miss Jess Graham in the chat. That's awesome.
Miss Cable or Miss Channel, who said that
Miss
last night. Well, was there any other notes you had, Jay, on part 2?
No, man. Like I said, I'm kind of twisted on the plots here. So yeah, someone else go because I'm confused.
Don't worry, I am too.
Jay's
And many
watching
points.
5 movies at once and doing the live stream.
Yeah, multitasking over here.
Jay's letterboxed is like movie, all within a minute of each other.
There's some truth to that, I think.
Oh yeah, a little bit.
Oh, it is Amanda for sure. Well, Jake, part 2.
Part 2, VHS.
Oh, there it is. Let
Oh,
me
yeah.
Very cool.
see if I can even.
But
Sorry, I'm horrible.
yeah, I like part 2 a lot. I kind of like they bring back Andre. We kind of got an Invisible Man look going on.
Sweet.
Yeah, you got Torch, who's awesome. And it's kind of a shame that it really don't bring him back till later. But it's a solid one, definitely. Not my favorite, but again, like at least 1 through 6, anyways. I kind of like them all, and then that's when it kind of goes downhill for me. But yeah, and this one has can't think of the guy's name, but if you're familiar with anything Full Moon, Demonic Toys, the cop that gets killed in the beginning, he's one of the guys that's working the computer. I can't remember his name. Dan probably knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to remember that specific actor, but you do have Charlie Spradling as Wanda, who one of the most beautiful women in cult film, doesn't get enough attention. George Buck Flower, who was in everything. The most iconic homeless guy in cinema history. He's always like a homeless drifter type. Yeah, with this franchise, it's interesting for a while because it does get better. It keeps building, for me anyways. And I think this one was stronger than the first. I did like Torch quite a bit. No William Hickey, and there are some issues with continuity in the Puppet Master franchise where certain things are ignored or actors flip, and that does bog it down a little bit. But I did like the Invisible Man kind of look for him in this. I'm sure Hickey was probably difficult to get for a sequel. And again, you look at this time period, 1990, in the early 90s, 90, 91, we were starting to get into a very kind of quiet time for horror. So these movies were very special. We weren't getting as much of this, particularly as we go a little deeper into the 90s. And
Very true.
Yeah, some really good kills in this too.
Yes. Orc, do you remember part 2?
Yeah, a little bit. I remember when Torch, like, that was his first movie. Obviously, like, we've been over a million times. And I don't remember which one has, like, the hotel and it's, like, right... It looks like you can basically fall off of a cliff. Is that 2, 4, or 5?
Is it a couple of them? Or
1, 2,
Yeah, several.
4, and 5.
Boy,
Bodega in.
Okay, so I just remember Torch, and that's all I remember from the film at this point. And going off of what Jake was saying, I've only seen 1 through 6. After, what was it, Retro Puppet Master, or one of the I can't even remember, Curse of the Puppet Master. I just stopped like watching, but I just kept buying them over and over at Walmart, like the 8-pack, 9-pack, 10-pack. So, yeah.
I think that's going to be a similar story for a few of us, that it either it stops at the point you said, or it's going to be like, yeah, I watched that once, it sucked. Let's move on.
So I'm the noob here, and I'm the Christian would be taking my place, but I got to sub in for him. Tag me in.
I'm glad you tagged in for the Rumble.
I'm here, brother.
Fandom.
Girl.
Yeah, I mean they're Full Moon Indie Phantom, as you're hearing us talk about. It's good, cheesy fun. It's nothing I'm gonna shake somebody and go, oh, this is one horror movie you must see. But any horror fan should check out the Puppet Master films, or at least, like we've said, the first few.
It's like Cheetos cheesy. Like you get it all over your hands, and you're like.
But it's so delicious at the same time.
I know. I mean, you're gonna mess up your clothes and get orange shit all over them, but it doesn't matter. You massacred and you killed like a Oompa Loompa accident.
What up, Ghost?
Before we get off part 2, can we all just agree how damn creepy them human dolls are?
Oh my god!
Like going to transfer the body in with them eyes, like, oh my god, man.
Good call.
Some things are what nightmares are made of.
Well, I think that was another just little piece of it that made me like this one a whole lot and just excited. I was like, okay, after watching the first one, yeah, that was okay. But, rewatching them a few years ago, Kory gave me a set of the first 10 films, the DVD, and starting to cook. And then 3 happened. But anyway.
I do have to say I agree with Jake on the look of Toulon in the second one, especially when he takes the wrap off. That he looked amazing. So,
I mean, it's amazing like what Charles Band could do with almost no money. I mean, especially this motion capture stuff for these dolls at this time when Child's Play first coming out, and it's still not really that new, but it's still kind of new, especially for low budget. And I don't know, he just hits money almost every time in this era.
I think several would agree with that here. And we mentioned the man earlier. Big fan. Thanks for dropping by, Christian. Again, sorry you couldn't be with us on the screen, but we'll get you. We'll get you. Go check out his channel, by the way, everybody. Christian Hannah Horror. Good times.
I think he has like all these puppets, the replicas.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, he has an amazing collection. We had Christian on a few months ago for a full moon show, and yeah, I don't have like the more recent like big replicas. I have all the old figures and a bunch of stuff, but yeah, Christian's got a hell of a full moon collection.
I just got a plush Blade doll that my wife got me for Christmas one year, so I hold on to that pretty tight.
Mm-hmm. Very cool.
Yeah.
Well,
there we go.
Unless anybody else in the chat or anywhere has comments on part 2, I'll bring them back up. But otherwise, we'll move on to part 3.
This is my favorite. Let's go, baby. 6-shooter.
Why don't we go ahead and let Orc start this one off?
All right. Back in the day, World War II, there was Toulon. He's this old ass motherfucker. He's like, yo, what's up? And then 6-shooter's like, and he's like, and then shit hits the fan and he uses the puppets to kill motherfuckers, and that's what's going down, boy. That was for you, Christian.
How did they not let you write that on the back of the box?
No shit. That is perfect.
Full Moon would be like a $100 million franchise.
I haven't seen any of the more recent movies that they put out, but like Ginger Dead Man and Evil Bong and all that shit, I should just like watch it one night.
Ginger Dead Man 2 Passion of the Crust is a classic.
Passion of the Crust.
I love that.
Yeah.
And by the way, I have a friend who's one of the main cast in that movie.
Oh,
Johnny Oberg, so.
Nice.
Passion of the Crust.
For some reason, that title makes me hungry.
You weren't a big fan of Saturday Night Cleaver?
I liked it, but Ginger Dead Man 2 is, I mean, the poster art with like the crucified cookie is like, my God.
I just love the titles of those, so.
Yeah. It's like some people consider that the last great like full moon cult classic. It's so good. Orc, you prepare yourself.
Okay, I'll check them out.
We will definitely get to those, Indie Phantom. Well, you go back to you, Kory. I think Orc summed up the thing. So, what are your notes on part 3?
This was the first prequel. It shows the creation of Leech Woman. It shows the creation of Blade, which is my personal favorite puppet. And I'm sure is many other people's favorite. Oh, hi, Mandy. Sorry, my cat just decided she was going to come over here. Yeah, where was I?
Blade's your favorite character.
Yeah, Blade's my favorite. Oh, this is also the one where they show Elsa's death, where the Nazis kill her and show Toulon. Well, as the title says, Toulon's revenge. He goes after the Nazis. So I actually found a copy of this on VHS at a Goodwill. And as soon as I ran home, I threw it in and watched this one because I'd never seen it. Anytime I ever caught any of the Puppet Master movies on TV, it was like 2, or later on it was 6 or 4 or 5, but I never caught 1 or 3. So I threw this one in and actually liked this one right off the bat. So it's one of my more favorite ones.
One of your more favorite ones, but honestly, I can't say that for myself.
Oh, wow.
Well, I mean, of course, again, I got to bring it up. This was probably one of the last, and this might have been also what you were thinking of earlier, Dan, just that iconic in the video store box. But I've watched it again, or a second time, but like I told you, that first time I was so disappointed when it wasn't a continuation of 2.
Yeah.
And it went back in time as a prequel. I was like, F this shit. This is boring. I don't want to sit here in Nazi German, times. And yeah, I wasn't happy with it. But it does have some cool moments. You got Tunneler, the leech woman scene was fantastic. But I don't think it'll ever be up there, even close to the favorites. It's better than some of the later ones, but it's at the lower end of the good ones, quote.
Mm-hmm.
But the intro to 6 Shooter, and did you guys say somebody else earlier in part 3? Is it
the
Leech
origin
Woman's?
of Leech Woman?
Leech Woman.
Mm-hmm.
That's, I mean, so far now, like, they've gotten better for me. Like, part 3 I liked more than 2 and 1. But it, 6 Shooter is awesome. We're trying to decide where our favorite puppets are. I'm having trouble, man. But I like 6 Shooter quite a bit. He's always, like got a weird smile on his face. But this is like when they started with the Nazi stuff, and they've really, like, I don't know what the obsession with the Nazi stuff is in these films, but they really went hard into that, and this is where it all started. I like the little Adolf puppet, the little Hitler puppet, and
never.
Yeah, I mean, I like this movie quite a bit. It sucks. I like the dynamic between Toulon and Elsa, and sucks when she died, but we learn how Leech Woman became who she is, and that's pretty cool, I think.
Well, and that reminds me, don't we basically learn that in this movie that each of the puppets were sort of at one time like Toulon's friends that were killed by Nazis?
Yep.
So, yeah, there's definitely cool elements. I'm surprised you like it more than 2, but yeah, solid.
You're going to be really shocked at my favorite.
Man, this one's solid too. You got 6 Shooter. He might, I'm the same as Jay when you're thinking about favorite puppets. 6 Shooter might be my favorite, but it's hard. And Richard Lynch is amazing in this. As Major Krause. But yeah, I mean, not much, I guess, else to say. I mean, this is the first one that kind of screws up the timeline.
Mm-hmm.
So I think in the first one they say that Toulon kills himself in 39, and this one he escapes in like 41. But
they really go off the wall with that continuity in the years, don't they?
It gets worse as it goes on, and then later they try to save it, and I think they just make it worse.
Didn't they have a different date for Toulon's tombstone in 2?
They might have, yeah.
I'm fine, man. These are full moon movies. I don't really care.
I don't care either, but
I'm with you. I don't even pay attention to dates. I didn't even know Temple of Doom and Indiana Jones was technically a prequel till I watched the making of.
Yeah, they 3 I think it's spectacular. I love 3. The production value is at its peak. They still had those Paramount sets that they filmed on, and this is the most epic, I think, of the Full Moon Puppet Master films. And you've got Richard Lynch, who is one of the most iconic villains out there. I mean, Bad Dreams, Invasion USA. He's amazing. I think it's one of the only films that truly actually even manages to tug at the heartstrings a little bit, because the backstory is pretty tragic. And when she becomes Leech Woman, and Tallone's speech to her after she was killed and revived as the puppet, that was pretty strong stuff that you didn't really get elsewhere. And I would argue Guy Rolfe was probably the best Andre Talone, in my opinion. I think he was exactly a little more sympathetic. And again, Puppet Master is much like Highlander in terms of continuity. They definitely screw it up multiple times throughout. This does establish a lot of the lore, though, going to this present day. They love World War II. I'm kind of sick of World War II. I think it's a great setting for horror films, and I think it was fantastic to do here. But I don't know. I don't know why at this point they continue to go back, because they don't have the budgets anymore, and period pieces are hard to pull off on a budget, on a modern day Full Moon budget. But yeah, I mean, you got Six Shooter, Michelle Bowers in here, Aaron Eisenberg from Deep Space Nine. This film just has so much going for it, and I really love it. And they shoot themselves in the foot going back to World War II, when they'll never be able to do it as well as they did here. And David Dakota, also Full Moon staple, who directed this one, probably arguably his best movie.
There's a lot of good points there, because the production value does drop off after this one.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Guy Rolfe, am I pronouncing that right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I think he would be considered the definitive Toulon for the series.
I'd agree with that.
He definitely appears the most as Toulon.
Yeah, may not been the first, but sort of like Kane Hodder is to Friday the 13th.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any last comments? Any of you guys? Any?
Kind of going along with what Dan was saying was when he was talking about Toulon's speech to Elsa. Mm-hmm. You also have the scene where the father and the little boy are stuck in the same building as Toulon, and the father ends up going and turning Toulon into the Nazis. I think that kind of showed some of the hard decisions that people had to make back then too. So
yeah. Puppet Master as a whole is not very heavy, but this one actually touched upon some heavy shit, which I think is why it's held in such high regard.
I can see that. Maybe that's why a lot of you dug it a little more than I did, because I was expecting not so heavy coming into Puppet Master 3. Which leads us to Puppet Master 4.
You wanted not so heavy, Jess.
And I got it. But I can't say it's the worst. It's a fun movie. It's again not my favorite of them, and it's grown on me more, a second time watching it. I might even enjoy it a little more than 3. But the budget's definitely lower. We were just talking about that. It looks, I think, like it was shot on video and not film. In the 90s, some of them were using beta cameras, or I could be wrong. It could have still been shot on film, but to me, it doesn't totally look like it in some scenes. But Kory, do you remember kind of summarizing the film of Puppet Master 4?
Puppet Master 4, they had kind of touched on the fact that in part 3 that Toulon had stolen the secret to life, or whatever from an Egyptian god. And so in 4, they explore that a little more. And the god, correct me if I'm mispronouncing this, Sutek sends these little demon creatures called totems after this. Well, first after a couple of random scientists, and then after the main character, Rick Myers, who is staying at the Bodega Bay Inn and encounters the puppets and ends up having to use the puppets to fight the totems off.
Which I think I like the human characters more than this one than like the puppets, or at least especially the demons kind of threw me off at first. The totems, I guess, is what you call it, right?
Yeah.
Well, this is like Jake said earlier. They're the good guys now. The puppets. So.
Yeah, and this is the first one. They move over to being less of the terrorizers and sort of, would you call it an anti-hero, or just they're kind of...
No, they don't kill anybody in this one. They're just going after a totem. So they're like the good guys.
Yeah, and that part, I think first time watching it, I didn't really care for either, because I want the puppets to be, slashers, the killers.
Well, there's a reason that's kind of explained in this one why. Because it's like Rick is pretty much becomes the new puppet master because he's close to figuring out the formula, and Toulon kind of, hands down the mantle to him. So the puppets kind of listen to him.
Well, and I like the Rick character, and I kind of get it as you go down the road. And again, this is still probably one of the, at least in the better half of the series. Hello.
Hi, guys.
And yes, Billy, that was fantastic. Hilarious.
I've got to watch Not Curse now. I forgot you got family listening.
Oh, you're fine. They're all older, trust me.
Well, that's good.
Oh yeah, this is not a PG show.
Just gonna keep my mic muted then.
Yeah, do you think I would have sent the invite to the dank meme king himself?
Yes. You may not want to listen to some of our other podcasts, kids, just so you know.
They're good. They're all in their teens, so.
Nice, Amanda. Well, who else hasn't talked about 4 yet?
I haven't.
Go
You
for
got
it,
any
Jay.
thoughts?
This, I'm a big fan of Jeff Burr, and Jeff Burr did 4 and 5. And I mean, considering what he had to work with, like you guys were saying, the reduced budgets, the Paramount deal was done and everything. I like 4 and 5 quite a bit. 4 and 5. I mean, 4 is probably my favorite, honestly.
Oh wow, you're right. I am surprised.
Yeah, I knew you would be. And this is when they introduced the demons, the totem, which I don't know. I mean, I guess considering we really we got to find the bad guy, and so I don't know. I'm okay with it. It's cheesy. It is what it is. But yeah, I like it.
Hell yeah.
And I think what's her name, Chandra West. Let's see if that's right. Yeah. Chandra West is Susie. I think she does a good job, and I like Rick too.
Yeah,
I do
it
like
almost
Rick.
Gordon Curry. It almost feels like a reboot in a way. I mean, once you make the puppets victims of Nazis, at that point you kind of have to make them, your heroes of the
Right.
piece. It's
That's
like,
true.
I understand.
Like,
yeah.
when they established that, Toulon's dead wife and, his friends are the puppets, they can't really be running around killing people. They got to be the good guys.
Yes. And I mean, they're killing Nazis in 3
Right.
too. So, that's the direction they went. I think 4 is a lot of fun. I think there's a lot of creative effects work. Jeff Burr, I am a fan of his as well. He's made some not so great flicks, but he's also done a lot of good work that he doesn't get credit for. You can, from this point on, you feel it with each movie, the reduction in budget. You start to feel it a little bit, but this is still, like I said, very imaginative effects. We're bringing in all the totems and all these new characters that I thought were always really interesting. I mean, we get a lot of puppet action in this, and we're all in it for the puppets, and it's not my favorite, and there are certain things, again, continuity and stuff that they start to kind of ruin a little bit. If you really want to pick at this movie, you can, but if you can turn your brain off, it's a lot of fun. I do like these. I do still have nostalgia for these. And, if I go back, I'm always going to watch 4 and 5 back to back because they kind of go together. And, I enjoy it. I'm still a 3 guy. 3 is like the one that I have the signed poster up. And I just love 3. And I don't know. This does rank pretty high up. It's way better.
This is one down.
Oh, I'm sorry. I think I might have froze on you guys.
No, you didn't. Jess did.
Oh, okay.
It was me.
I was like, maybe that was me, and I was talking over somebody. I'm sorry. But yeah, no. A lot of people say it all goes downhill after 3. I don't quite agree. 4 and 5 are a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
And 6, which we'll get to, but
Yeah.
And 7.
any last comments on part 4? Otherwise, Jake?
I'm just curious if they spent all of their budget on the totems because Sutek really looked like crap.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He did. But
We also had Decapitron too.
Yep.
Well, yeah.
Got him.
Yeah, if you want to talk about introductions of new puppets, there was Decapitron.
Yeah.
Let's see, which one is Decapitron?
Right, this one right here.
Mm-hmm.
I think I have to go look at him.
And Torch is in the poster art, but he's not in the movie.
Oh,
That's hilarious.
Oh,
So,
nice.
He's not in 4. He's in 5. He just randomly shows up, but he's not in 4. But I love it. So everybody else has probably said anything I had to say about it.
I think it's still one of the better ones. It's not my top 2, but part 4 I think is still in the upper.
I kind of like the puppets as good guys, and kind of shows them, kind of gives them a bit of character with their things they don't say nothing, but the noises they make, and Blade's always tipping his hat.
yeah.
6-shooter. Yeah, and Tunneler is like the MVP in this movie too.
Yeah.
Tunneler had some really awesome kills throughout the franchise. I mean,
There's Tunneler is a cool puppet. Ranks up there, I think, in the top 3.
Yep.
And there's
Okay.
14 in the franchise, but that's counting versus, reboot, and spin-off. So maybe 11 of the direct, if there is such a direct line in the franchise.
Well, and apparently Totem, the movie Totem, I guess, would be in there as well, just not canon.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Yeah.
White
Yeah.
German.
Yeah, you got Totem. I guess they first appeared in 4, and they spun off into this movie that really has nothing to do with what they had to do in Puppet Master. But
Is that worth watching at all?
I mean, I'm gonna say yes because I'm a Full Moon Mark.
Cool.
But it's like the last. I mean, it's like 99, 98, I think.
Yeah.
So
Totem got an action figure, so
Yeah.
it was popular enough for that.
see, because there's still like 3 demons in this, but they're like different. The way
Mhm.
it's just different.
Yeah, Totem was one of those ones where I know there was some filming issues, so you are getting in. I think it wasn't completed entirely. At a certain point, there were problems.
Well, then, moving along, we got a little more of them totems, I think. That's what you're calling those demons.
Yep.
In Puppet Master 5, which originally was titled The Final Chapter, if I'm correct.
Yep.
Yep, there it is.
And obviously was not.
Mhm.
It never is.
No.
It was intended to be, but you know.
But Charles Band likes money.
Yep.
Hey, I like money. We should hang out.
I think that was the one rule Jamie Kennedy left out of his Scream speech as far as rules for horror.
Well, Kory, what'd you...
Part 5, continuation of part 4. This is they don't show it, at least not that I remember, but Rick gets arrested and taken down to the police station for the murders of the 2 scientists and one of the guests at the hotel. And I believe he ends up getting let out by the company he works for. And the lawyer hires 3 people to go in with him to try and find the puppets. And once again, mayhem ensues. And this is all taking place at the Bodega Bay Inn. So, yeah.
Orc's
More
favorite
fun.
spot?
Yeah. I think the best way to summarize this one is it's pretty much part 4, just different characters.
Yeah.
I can
This is
see
also-
that.
Because
This
the
is
same
also
stuff
Sasha Gray's favorite place. Sorry, go ahead. Don't Google that.
Well, and doesn't part 5 end with supposed to be a passing of the torch? Of course, we never see that person again that the torch is passed to
Yes.
in the
Yeah.
rest of the series.
Yes.
Yeah.
But this is the last of the Paramount
Yeah.
movie, or the Puppet Master Paramount movies too.
Oh, really? I didn't even know they made it this far.
Oh, 5 is. Okay.
Yeah, 5 is it. Yeah.
What was it, 90, 96, 95 when that Paramount deal was done?
Okay.
Castle Freak is considered like,
The last.
well, a lot of people consider it the last really good full moon movie, but I don't agree. But in terms of budget, for sure.
Cover art gets better.
Yeah, it does.
We got one more good cover art, and it's pretty shit after that.
Well, I was going to say, this is the point, I think, as far as the original run of them, going to the video store and picking them up, that I was pretty much done with Puppet Master. I think I'd had enough at this point. I think I rented it, but it was like, okay, we've had our fun. And Billy Bean's got a point there. Yeah, go check it out, Indie Phantom. I hope you like it, and I check out the different ones. And if you're still here, which I hope so, in a couple more movies, we'll give some of you guys who are afraid to watch this many movies a few other options to get a feel of the whole series without watching them all.
Yeah, 4 and 5 were also shot back to back, and as you get to 5, this is where Full Moon really starts to have some trouble as a company, because there were walk-offs, checks were getting bounced. There were a lot of issues going on behind the scene, and this was 94, so you've only got about a year before things kind of fall apart. I still like it. Like I said, you're definitely starting the downward trend, though, at this point, for sure, because I think 4 is much stronger. But we still have Guy Rolfe as Toulon, who, I was always a big fan of that guy. And there's still fun to be had, for sure. But you can absolutely start to see it at this point. The the decline. Full Moon, there's certain franchises that they can't really do anymore, and Puppet Master, I'm afraid, is one of them. And I'm sure as we get a little deeper into this, we'll talk a little bit about that.
Well, this one feels cheaper than the last one, even.
It does.
Yeah.
It's
It's a
almost
year.
got like a polished look to it. It has a different look to it than Part 4.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Not necessarily
Did this
polished
have
in a
Clue?
good way.
Oh, sorry, Jay.
Sorry. No, go ahead.
Polished in a good way.
No, not necessarily in a
good-
good way. Yeah.
Like almost that, I don't want to say
Like-
soap opera
Yeah.
feel, but just
yeah.
too video-ish. Too clear, too clean. Give me a filter. I need some filters in my movies. Don't need to see. Did it have Clue Gulager? Or am I thinking of something else?
I
He's
don't
not in
think
any of
so.
these, is he?
No, not,
I wish.
I wish. Maybe I was hoping and dreaming. But yeah, that's about all I got to say about 5. It's again, it's okay when you're considering the whole series, but it definitely takes a big drop there.
Mm-hmm.
For me, we go back up though next, which we'll get to. I don't know. Anybody else? Any last comments on Part 5?
I think it's fair to say that we're getting to the end of an era for me at this point.
Were there any new
Yeah,
puppets
for some of these
introduced?
later ones, we're definitely going to be quick. Any new puppets? Good question, Jay.
there
Corey,
is
Jake?
no new puppet.
Dan.
No new puppet.
No new puppets.
You get a the totem in this is like what's his name? The demon Sultar, whatever the hell the demon is.
Sutek.
Yeah, he's pretty much like his clone that he sends, and he's got all his powers and all that.
That's right. Yeah.
He's blinged out. He's got gold and all that.
Uber totem.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh God.
Yeah.
So, like,
Jeff, I was going to
shredder.
ask you, bouncing checks is probably a big no-no in the film industry, I would imagine.
Oh yeah, definitely. As far as I know, I know some of the big studios. Surprisingly, they can take a long time to pay their outsourced workers. Like the smaller production companies that are usually hired by them to shoot something where they're working on. Those producers who are trying to, get their next paycheck too, they're usually waiting months and months from the studios to pay them, and they've already paid out all their crew out of their own funds.
Mhm.
That I do know is true. I won't name any studio names, but there's only, the big 5.
Hey,
But
Dan,
that's-
was Heyman doing the books for Charles Band, or
Paul Heyman might have been. Definitely.
Well, all right. Let's move on. And this one I think might surprise a lot of you. And from what I've heard, I might be alone in this, but this ranks up there pretty close to Part 2 with me as one of the favorites. And that's Curse of Puppet Master, or Puppet Master 6.
I love
you
this
will.
one.
You
It's
too?
like the Forrest Gump edition,
Yes.
Yep.
It is a lot of
I can
fun,
honestly
I think.
say I've never heard that before. So
I don't know if I have either, but I got it right away. It fits it perfect. It's a lot of fun. It's entertaining through most of the movie. I didn't feel like for the Puppet Master movies, there wasn't a lot of slow parts in this, in Curse. And there are in a lot of the other movies. Love the characters. Forrest Gump. He's he kind of, I don't want to call him a Ricky replacement, but it definitely is. It's kind of the new lead.
Mhm.
I was hoping it would go on with this, because
Yeah.
I've been angry still at any time after 2 up to this point. I was mad that they never continued to. So just again, it's
This one could almost stand alone by itself in the series. It doesn't really bring any of the other than the puppets into it that I'm aware of.
no, I think you're right. You don't have to watch them all, like you just said, and not be a huge fan, but you get a good feel for the Puppet Master movies if you watch Curse of the Puppet Master. And it feels more. I think this has stepped up as far as quality from the last one. Or I don't know. Maybe I just got that in my head because I like it so much. But
That might be it because I think this one was shot on video. 'Cause
was
this
it
is the
shot on
first-
video as well?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
this
they
is the-
entertained me enough that I didn't notice it as much.
Yeah, this is definitely the first Puppet Master without Paramount's money.
Mm. Yeah, also a lot of time in between too. This was like 4 years later. So, I mean, Hollywood had changed so much in that time and just in general. And this movie was shot in 8 days, I believe, which is hard to imagine. I mean, anybody that can complete a professional film in that amount of time is just amazing. One of the big issues here is this is when we start getting the stock footage and recycled stuff. That it's a weird one because I do talk to more than a few people that do really like Curse of the Puppet Master. It's not the worst of the franchise by any means, but I don't love it. I got to be honest. This is around that time. David Dakota, who directs this, and again, I mean, much like a Fred Olin Ray or a Jim Wynorski, I mean, he was a go-to guy. He could get a professional film made in like no time. And today he shoots films over a weekend. So you can imagine the budgets just to this day keep shrinking. There's some different things going on here that you're not going to pick up on it when you're a kid, but David Dakota, who's openly gay, there's a lot of kind of homoerotic subtext that starts getting into his films, which you see a little bit of here. Not to the level of like a Brotherhood or a Voodoo Academy, which kind of goes all the way there.
Dan, stop it.
So it's trying to appeal to a different audience at the same time, which is cool. But unfortunately, at this point too, the budgets are just so low that I'm not a fan, Jess. I'm sorry. I don't want to kill your childhood on this one. I don't like it.
That's why we're here at the Horror Rumble. Movies are subjective, and that's what makes it a great time, I think. I like this one. You like that one. Mm-hmm. And you mentioned the director. I don't know who that is, but Jeff Burr earlier. I do like a lot of his work.
Some people don't.
Yep. And sometimes the floor is sticky.
Yep. Definitely after Sasha Grey.
Absolutely.
Curse, Jake, Kory, any final thoughts? Anybody?
I liked Curse. Like I said before, if I caught it on TV, it was one of the ones I'd watch. I do have to admit it's still very difficult to watch the scene where Tunneler gets the guy on the weight bench. Always cross my legs during that scene. So
yes,
but yeah, I absolutely loved Curse of the Puppet Master. So I did want to point out that they never mention Toulon or Rick in this movie. Mm-hmm. Neither one are mentioned in this movie at all. And the Dr. McGrew, is that what his name is? Mm-hmm. Says that he got the puppets at an auction. So I actually have a theory, since Jess, you're so big on theories, that actually the puppets turn on whoever the puppet master is after so long, because everyone who's left with the puppets dies, and mysteriously in 6 the puppets end up in an auction.
That's a good one.
The theory that the puppets are good may only be true for so long. So
yeah, damn, Billy, he's right. Oh, and yes, he does look good in that hat. Damn it. Well, all right. Now we're getting into where I can't say there's too much redeeming. or anything too good. A lot of you, I think, still do like this. Oh, what was that one? Is that Curse?
Yeah, this is Curse.
Let me bring you up.
Blockbuster preview for $16.99.
I love it.
Oh, it's got the sticker. Swag. Now you're just showing off, man.
Nice.
Look, I hate these stickers because if the tape's over here, you can't tell if they got mold or not.
Oh, good point.
But yeah, this is the last of the good ones in my opinion.
I agree too.
There was one other funny side note. Did anybody else notice that the whole time he's carving the puppet, when he's done and gets transferred into the puppet, it looks nothing like what he was carving?
Yeah.
I don't know if I noticed that.
There's a lot of little goofs at this point.
Well, puppet. Oh, what was that, Jake? Or was that you?
It was me.
Oh, you do have that. Let's pull you up.
Last one.
There it is.
Horror sticker.
And see, I thought this one was just.
Oh, Be Kind Rewind. What's up?
I thought it was just so damn boring. But,
This was the last one for me because this is when I stopped going to video stores for the most part. Because this was 03.
Yeah,
03, 04.
I was going to say, was that even. Well, it was obviously on video. He just showed it to me.
Yeah, this is probably the last one that was on VHS.
See, I didn't even see that one till this last decade when Kory, like I said, had given me the set, and even Curse, which is now one of my favorites. So, but yeah, man, this one sucks. I don't have a lot to say about it, Kory.
Honestly, I thought this was. Originally I thought this movie was horrible. I didn't like it at all. Watched it yesterday, and it's not that bad. It's really not. I mean, yeah, there's bad acting, and there's one guy who talks like this, but I mean, if you can look past all the other stuff that's been in that, the funny little things that have happened throughout the franchise up to this point, it's like they just threw them all into one movie. So I didn't really have a problem with it. Sat down, watched the whole thing straight through, and actually enjoyed it. And you get, the continuity once again is completely screwed up, because instead of him getting the secret in Egypt, like they show in all the other movies, he gets it in Paris. But it also shows him meeting Elsa for the first time and how they started their whole love affair and whatnot. But it really wasn't that bad. You see how the origins of the original puppets, and
Which I hated the looks of these old
Me too.
puppets.
I'm not saying I'm a fan of the look
No.
at all, except for Dr. Death was actually pretty cool.
Yeah. Cyclops is alright.
Yeah, I mean, there was a few moments in it, but not enough for me to get that excited at all for this. And let me ask you one question. If it wasn't a Puppet Master movie and it was like a mummy movie, would you think it would be cooler? Never mind.
No.
So this is yet another prequel, right? So
Yes.
this takes
Yeah.
place after 3.
Prequels.
Before
Directly
3.
after
Before 3.
Before,
Before
yeah.
3.
Or before 3, okay.
This is technically the first one in the entire franchise.
Yeah,
If you're doing it,
pre-World War II. Yeah.
It gets confusing to me, man.
Chronologically.
Honestly. So,
Yeah, and that pisses me off.
This is probably the last of the enjoyable ones. Well, I say that, but there's some later ones I don't mind. But this one's where you can really, I think, tell quality-wise. Because I think there's some scenes in here you can still see the string on the puppets when they're like moving them up. They just didn't bother to cut them out. My only disappointment is because I think at the end of this movie he's like talking to the puppets and he'll tell them what happened to like the retro puppets later, and then you never fucking hear nothing else again.
Yep.
But Dr. Death's getting his own spin-off movie next year. In case y'all.
Yeah, I saw that.
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah.
and then,
Yeah. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
for this one has what's his name? Greg Siesto. He's a Mark from The Room. I don't know if y'all have ever seen the Room. He plays a young Tolan in this.
Oh, hi, Mark. Yeah.
Yeah, that Mark. Yep.
Oh God,
He's in it.
that room. Oh no.
Yeah, that
Yes.
room.
Yeah, I think that's actually probably one of the more noteworthy things about Retro Puppet Master. There's some interesting ideas. I mean, it's kind of ambitious in its storyline, particularly at this point. This would be the last Puppet Master for 10 or 11 years, I believe it was, until the next one. So I think Full Moon knew and Charlie Band knew after this that these movies were going to get more difficult to make. The puppets don't look the same. Seeing the strings, as you said, which that doesn't necessarily bother me too much. I mean, I'm a connoisseur of old man in a suit monster movies, and sometimes you saw the zipper. I mean, it doesn't necessarily take the fun away, but there's a lot of issues here. I mean, at this point, you start getting Dakota casting people out of like an underwear catalog, and it's got a lot of issues. It just does. It is the final appearance of Guy Rolfe, so it's got that going for it. Room fans, I know, get a kick out of it as well, but they couldn't do it anymore. They just couldn't at this point, and we see why it was a decade until we got another one, because this was not popular. Also, and a lot of people forget, this had a PG-13 rating, which was bizarre for a Puppet Master movie.
I didn't know that until you just said something.
Yeah, that's why it's like even the gore. Like, I mean, Curse had some decent gore. As Kory said, the drill scene was really good. This had that PG-13 rating, so it kind of held them back a little bit on that front. So it's not great. I'll rewatch it, and I would concede it's not as bad as its reputation, but it's the end of an era at this point.
I definitely agree. So it was 10 years from retro to legacy, or are you not counting legacy?
No, if you're not counting legacy, it was only like 4 years.
Yeah, I almost don't count legacy.
Yeah.
But
You almost can't,
Yeah.
which
Let's get
we
there.
will get
I'm ready.
to.
I'm ready to fucking rip that thing apart.
Oh, me too, Jamie. Me too.
Well, like they said, let's go ahead and just get there. The worst movie up to this point by far.
This is the worst movie at all.
Double birds.
it's a clip show. I mean, it is technically considered. I mean, they do consider it part, but it's a clip show.
They said there's like 30 minutes of new footage, and I couldn't even tell you where that 30. I didn't even think it was that much.
It's just oh my god. And Charlie Band is notorious for this too, by the way, of taking stock footage and old footage and making a new movie
and putting his name on it with a director credit.
Yes. Like that coronavirus movie that he did this year, which was
Corona Zombies.
Yes. Yeah. Well, it was some movie in the 80s that he took the footage from.
I love how Dan knows it.
He does.
It's Corona Zombies. You gotta
change.
know. Great. Gone with the Wind. Corona Zombies.
We did a 3-hour show on that over on Flesh Wound Features.
Yeah.
But, God, this one's like Dan said, a clip show, and it tries to bring it back to the third one, because like from the new stuff he actually filmed, the main guy I think that has the puppets, it's supposed to be Peter, the little kid from part 3. That's his assistant.
Okay.
So
that's right.
But this is by far the biggest piece of shit of the whole franchise.
Wasn't it supposed to fix continuity errors with the new footage, but it didn't?
I don't think so. They try to go back and fix the continuity in the Axis trilogy,
but they never accomplish it, really, do they?
It's full moon in the 2010s. We expect.
I almost consider it a reboot after this, in a way. I mean, yeah, it's still connected, but yeah, I've only ever watched Legacy the one time. I was pissed, like most people, expecting that I had a new Puppet Master movie, and I did not.
Yes.
But there is new footage, so technically it is. But yeah, skip it, guys. If you're like looking to dive into this, you don't need to watch Legacy.
Well, you could, if you don't want to go back and watch all of them, you can just watch this one and get the highlights from all of them.
Good point. That's kind of what I meant earlier for some of those who haven't seen them yet that are in the chat. If you really don't want to dive into them, but to me, you're also missing the best ones by not doing that.
That is true.
Yeah. You want to start at the beginning, or I mean, yeah, you really do want to start at the beginning. Yeah.
Don't do chronological order, corny. I don't think that's the best way to watch these.
If you do, go with retro and then 3.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like if you start with retro, you're going to be like,
you're not going any further.
Yeah. Maybe you just want to start for like 1 through, and then when you can't go anymore, just stop.
And I will throw this out there because there have been a lot of releases of the Puppet Master movies. Echo Bridge did multiple sets. If you want them for cheap, you can get them for well under $10.
Mm-hmm.
And it's worth that. You don't need a fancy copy of these if you're checking them out.
I have them all on Blu-ray because I'm a glutton for punishment. But yeah, you can get them. You can get them cheap.
You can get them, yeah. And like
Hayden, there's a fun game you like to play, and it's just called it's like Children of the Corn. You just keep watching them until you can't fucking take it anymore. And then you just give up. And then you almost want to commit suicide, but you don't because you're a good person.
I like that franchise too, by the way.
You guys should do that sometime.
It is, Samara. It is.
Oh, even the first Children of the Corn's not very good, though. I think it's
not one of the best, but I enjoy it. I have fun with those movies.
I don't know.
Harvest for the win.
3 is the best. 3 is actually a lot.
1, 2, and 3 are good. The rest are fucking terrible.
You
don't like Fields of Terror?
Children of the Corn in the Hood.
Ava Mendes was
Ava Mendes.
Yeah. There were some names that got
very nice
their starts, but yeah.
Outlander.
Well, Legacy is why I didn't go any further, man. Like, I was like, and it made me really dislike Charles Band even more than I already did.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
It makes sense, though. It really makes sense.
It's bullshit, dude. He's like, well, I own the company, so I'm going to fucking get a director credit on this thing, you know? Like, it's the worst one.
It is.
Even
did he shoot any of the new footage, guys?
I think he did.
Okay.
I would imagine.
Yeah. He didn't want to pay somebody, so yeah.
But Charles Band, he's notorious for, like I've already said, taking footage and reusing it 100 times. I mean, it's save money, really. But when you're a B-movie company, I guess you got to.
Yeah, but I mean, over and over, I say fuck him for that.
Yeah.
he still gets my money.
And we magically found a bunch of VHS in our warehouse. You guys want to buy them?
That aren't the original VHS.
We found some more.
Oh, that would piss me off too if he made it sound like it was original.
Oh, he did.
There was a shitstorm online about that. it was crazy. Yeah, there's a lot of things. I mean, I love Full Moon. They are a little bit on the carny side. They've re-edited certain movies and repackaged them under the same title. They've spliced like 3 movies together and made it like an anthology, just edited it down. They've done a lot of shit that's very questionable. It's for sure.
But their worst shit is still better than anything Lloyd Kaufman has ever done.
I'm not gonna go that far.
Well, there are a couple things, Trauma, I think are fun cheese, but yes.
Trauma in the 80s
with Troma though too, you have to separate what they put out versus the in-house films, which are different. Like usually their in-house stuff, Terra Firma, Tromeo and Juliet, that stuff is actually quite good. If you don't mind the, their sense of humor. But they will pick up some really wretched movies and distribute them. So
Combat Shock is one of my favorite Troma films. Even though it's not an in-house film,
Jay, stop lying. Stop lying.
Roma Wars?
Blood-Sucking Freaks, one of the all-time great horror films.
Nope. Back to Puppet Master.
Yeah. We still got 5 more movies to go.
Yeah, Evolver is
But I think these are going to go a little faster than the earlier ones, so don't
worry. By the way,
worry.
since we hit this one, I'm really enjoying this, so I'm just going to mute my mic again. Boop.
No, I don't know if we're talking about this next one, but
we are, and I know what you're talking about now, but yes, we are. Was Evolver full moon though? Indie Phantom wants to know.
No, that's a pretty decent little sci-fi film, but no, it was not.
Thanks, Mandis. People.
I guess I should probably say hi to Amanda too. Hi, Amanda.
I don't know you, but hi, Amanda.
Hey, Amanda.
And I know Dana. And she will give you a full moon.
Dana's getting a little freaky in the chat over there.
I don't doubt it.
God, look at that face.
She is
no B. Arthur.
She's living art for sure.
She looks like a puppet from one of these movies.
Yeah, and most people don't count this next film, but I do, even though I don't like it.
What?
Yes.
Puppet Master versus Demonic Toys.
Still better than Legacy.
It's a movie.
I do agree with that. It is a movie, and it is better than Legacy. It had so much potential, though.
It's not full moon.
It's sci-fi.
Yeah.
Sci-fi.
And it's not considered canon. Yeah, Corey Feldman.
Sleepwalking through this thing.
Hey,
he was awful.
Get out of here.
I'm sorry, Jake, but he was. I love Corey Feldman, and I was excited. I was like, when Corey told me that you're gonna hate it, dude, I was like, how could it be a bad movie? It's a Puppet Master versus demonic. It's a verse movie with demonic toys. It's got Corey Feldman. You've got all the elements there. What could go wrong? And it does.
Nothing
it's
goes
bad.
wrong.
Corey's bad in it. The script is awful, and maybe that's why Corey's bad.
But I'm not bad.
No, Corey Feldman is bad.
Okay.
Corey told me it was bad. Corey Feldman was bad in it, and I love Corey Feldman in this Corey.
So I'm the only one that likes this. I'm gonna take it.
Take it away, buddy.
I've never seen it.
This movie.
Isn't this the one though that has the chick from Weird Science?
Yeah, the TV series, Vanessa Angel. Yeah.
It's fun. I love Demonic Toys is my favorite full moon. Anything. And anytime you put them in there, Puppet Master. I love it. I know it's not great. I mean, I know that, but I love it for its own reasons. And when I heard Corey Feldman was going to star in this, I was even more excited. And it's Corey Feldman in like 2004. What do you expect? We got, I guess, the best he could probably do at that time. And even probably now, because he's like Michael Jackson weird now.
Well, Indie Phantom, who I think he was saying he doesn't know most of them. But
then you'll be good with the rest. Yeah.
Jake, I'm curious. Did you see the trailer for Baby Oopsie?
Oh my God! Yeah, I'm there as soon as it drops.
Did you watch it, Jess?
I haven't yet, but I do like Demonic Toys, the original movie.
Well, this
is something.
It's gonna be. I'll just say
it's gory. I'll tell you that.
Questionable casting. I don't know what's going on in that department. But
Okay.
everything's done out of Ohio now, right?
Yeah.
So I expect no less then. Okay. Makes sense now.
Anybody
Jess,
else?
we know people in Ohio. Can't we help them out?
Yeah,
I don't know if that connection.
I like some sci-fi originals. I actually do. I feel like, man, I feel like I just got punched in the face when I sat down and watched this one.
This
I'm
movie's
sorry.
boring, right? I mean, it bored me to fucking tears.
I think Corey Feldman might have died in like '98. And they've just been Weekend at Bernie's him since then because it was bad. I'm sorry.
So
I
over the
know.
top.
Worst
were
two
not
songs.
wrong.
I know.
It should have been good though with him in it. I mean,
But no, I don't know. I mean, it's Feldman in 04. I mean,
It's bad.
I've got some Feldman. I haven't had the best experiences with Corey Feldman.
You don't need to have any. He sucks in Friday Part 4. He's the shittiest part of the
No,
whole
no, no.
movie.
or
Child
No.
Corey Feldman.
Shitty.
or
No, hell no.
I'm about to
Shitty.
be driving up to Maine.
Now
Come up
Friday,
here, buddy.
now
Have some
Orc,
fun.
Orc is the villain now. No,
Oh, wow.
I really think the Corey Feldman we all knew and loved as a kid. I think the Corey Feldman now is like some drifter that killed him at some point and took his place.
He's just wearing his skin.
Yeah, just wearing he's a skinwalker. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It just, I don't know. It's not good, but you can make an argument that it's better, at least in terms of budget, than some of the later ones. But I don't like it.
Again, definitely better than Legacy, but that's about.
Yeah,
all
it's a
I can
movie.
Immediately think of it.
It's a
Maybe
movie.
retro, but even that is questionable.
It's
No.
a good movie to watch when in the Christmas season.
This is on YouTube for those of you that want to subject yourself to it.
Don't listen to any of these guys.
Puppet
Listen
Master
to
vs.
me.
Demonic Toys
It
is
is fucking awesome. And go
because
watch
it is hard to
now.
find.
Yes,
It is
yeah.
a hard to find one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Yeah,
It's long out of print, physical
Um,
wise.
I think Jess hit it on the head with just a missed opportunity. I mean, you've got Corey Feldman. Granted, he's probably on who knows what at that point, and
true. It's true.
he probably cares less than anybody else on that set about the movie. So, and it shows.
I can just imagine a commentary. Vanessa Angel. He's like, he just kept trying to sell me his fucking CD the
Yeah.
whole time. It's horrible.
Oh, hold on.
She's great. She's great. I
Oh,
love
he
her.
bought one of his CDs.
I got this mixtape, man.
I got these cheeseburgers.
Man.
He only charged me $30 because he's. Oh, I'm gonna laugh my ass off if he's coming back with a CD.
Oh God.
We're just waiting.
What's
Oh, he's got a signed Corey Feldman LP.
Hey, well, while he's gone, I will tell you at a convention once, Feldman had over a 4-hour wait to meet him. Stop the line to count.
Why?
Stop the line to count his money right there at the table, like
yeah,
to
I think
count.
He told me that.
Yeah.
Why didn't his handler do that? What the fuck is happening?
They were all
That's bad.
his wife or girlfriend or whatever she was at the time. They were all just sitting there like counting the money. It was, yeah. So I haven't had the best experience.
I wouldn't give him the satisfaction, even though I do love the guy. I mean, his work.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's bad.
What do we got here?
Oh, let's rank him up.
No, it's not a CD.
No, it's a
Get that shit out of here.
It's a
Did you
record
do it?
store,
I did not.
record store day exclusive. Corey Feldman and the Angels, when he had that hit with Snoop Doggy Dogg.
Oh.
He had a hit.
Yeah, go for it. Come on, Org. You need to get cultured, bro.
Cultured.
Cultured.
When was
Pretty
that
cultured.
released?
New
Uh,
Kanye album on August 6th.
I'm gonna say it was like record store day. It had it's probably got a year on it. I want to say I was 16, 17 maybe. Whenever
should
the
pull up-
song like blew up.
I wonder
You
if
should
he
pull up the video where he
that.
falls and knocks his tooth out of his mouth.
Look,
I wonder if he agreed to
Yeah, I
do that
remember.
back when he was doing the movie White Boys.
If you can find it, I'd share it. But I'm
I don't
wait.
know.
White Boys? What'd you mention?
Yeah. Snoop Dogg was actually made a cameo in that movie. It was god awful, but
It was filmed partly here in
yes.
Iowa, but Snoop Dogg's was all in, I think, shot in L.A.
Yeah, it was all like CG. It's really bad.
Oh, goodness sakes.
Orc's gonna pass out here in a minute.
Well, then we should move on before we lose Orc in some of these.
Hold on.
Oh, wait,
You
wait.
want to
Wait.
see it, Jess?
I do while we're on.
Oh, I'm gonna die. COVID. No.
God, he sucks. He's such a douchebag. It's
Oh my God!
How does he
now
manage,
this is
man?
Mississippi too.
Jake's gonna drive outside of his house and kill somebody.
all right. This is a terrible like. Oh man, this footage is so bad. Have you guys heard the horror stories of those tours? Like he kept swapping angels out because like, man, this is like a nightmare.
They probably left, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Do I have to?
My face hurts so much.
I'll
How
just
many
share-
more do we have left? 5?
4.
They'll start moving quicker.
They were going to go really quick here. There's like one I can talk about a little bit from this point on, and that's it.
Passion of the Crust.
Would you rather share my screen or share the link with you?
Is it okay to share your screen? I still honestly don't know how to run all this.
Yeah, just hit that down there, and I'm not going to share the audio. It's because who knows if his garbage music is copywritten. This was on some like show, I think. Maybe this was at a one of his shows.
And he dresses like Michael Jackson in his
He's
music.
holding on to that, isn't he?
Yep.
So,
So yeah, he lost it there at that point, right? Because he's looking.
He's
for
trying to
his tooth.
find it now.
He really is. He's saying,
Hold on. Sorry, I couldn't find a better quality video of this.
I think that's just how it is. It came off of people's phones. Is how you got to see it,
Yeah.
right?
Pretty metal, man.
Yeah, still
Is there
looking
a
for his
part
tooth.
when it? Where does
Piece
it
of-
fall out? Oh, right there.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I would.
Did he
I
hit
would've-
himself on the mic?
I think so.
I would have just screamed out Kory Haim is better, just really loud, and threw him off this game.
He'd kill himself there on stage.
Pull a Gigi
Oh, man.
Allen.
In the end, I don't know if that statement was true. In the last,
I mean, Feldman had bigger movies than Kory Haim. There's no doubting that. Friday the 13th, Goonies. I mean, Feldman certainly.
no, I just meant in their later years. I think Kory Haim had some great movies too.
He did, yeah.
Name-
He just
name
didn't have the franchises, though. I
Do
mean,
you all want to fight me today or what?
at Monster Mania.
Let me tell you something, brother.
I will not take any more of this Corey Feldman bashing. Okay.
I like the guy, man.
No,
I
yeah,
wanted
no.
him to come play for my 40th birthday party,
Fuck yeah.
but coronavirus happened.
We can make it happen.
Oh. How
I'll
much
give him
do? How much does he charge for that?
I don't know. I never looked into it because of coronavirus.
Yeah, I feel like that. Well, you'd be cashing a big check, I think. Maybe not that big.
Can we take
but-
note of that for Jay's birthday, though?
Yeah, we'll just all go in on it.
You get Feldman there, I'm there.
May take you up on that.
Oh. Well, let's move along and get on with this. Axis of Evil. I have watched this once, like I said, when
Oh,
Corey gave me
God.
the copies. not horrible, but I think I was done with just being excited about Puppet Master at least.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Kory, I don't know if you want to start this one off because I think you're a fan, right? You like this one?
I liked this one, but to be honest with you, I couldn't tell you too much about it. I know that the main character has a club foot, but that's about it.
It's better than the last 3 movies we talked about.
They did
I'm sorry, Jay.
try to add something. They did try to add something to redo the original first scene from the first Puppet Master. But outside of that, I really can't tell you too much, except there are new puppets that they brought in. There's a ninja puppet. Is this the one where they bring in Kamikaze and
That's the next one.
that's the next one? Okay. So, but there is a new puppet. It's a ninja puppet. So, but other than that,
Sorry.
I don't even want to know.
Wasn't Six Shooter supposed to be a ninja originally?
Was he?
Mhm.
But they went with the cowboy because of the American tie.
Which I'm glad they went with the cowboy because, like you said earlier, 6-shooter is a cool puppet.
You know,
Mark,
a 6-armed ninja does sound pretty cool, though.
It does. Six-shooter.
Was the lead character in Access? I don't know if anybody remembers. Did he start off in like overalls, which kind of reminded me of the what's his name from 4 and 5? I don't know.
You mean
I
from
don't know why I had
6?
that note. Or maybe it was 6 wearing overalls.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tank wore overalls and he worked at a gas station at the beginning. So
That's all I have to say about that. I liked it enough. I think I did watch the next one, but
I know that
definitely not memorable.
the poster art gets better on the next one. So
Tickling my nipples.
This
And then
one,
I guess Jake, sorry, go. Anybody?
no, I mean it's fine. I don't love it. Hey, I'm over the Nazi thing.
Mhm.
Like, I don't know why we got to keep falling back on that, especially now. I have definitely enjoyed.
I was over the Nazi
The next-
scene in part 3 or the thing.
Well, I mean, I was fine with it then. I mean, but to go back to it for 3 damn movies. I mean, especially when you definitely do not have the budget to make anything that's set, in the 40s, in the World War II era, and no one has German. I don't think anybody, if they try, it's not very good, or I don't even think they try to have German accents in any of these movies. But
Hello.
that's all I got for this one.
Oh. Anybody else on this one? or
do you
should I-
like puppets?
What's going
Yeah.
on?
Do you?
I have not seen it, but I am gonna try to watch it. I'm gonna try to watch all of these because I'm out. I haven't seen any more past Legacy, so or Demonic Toys.
The good thing about them, especially these 3, they're like an hour and 18 minutes long. They're not very long at all.
Yeah. Think of it as one long movie.
Yeah.
Did Charles Band direct all of these?
He directed all 3.
Yeah. Yeah, I think pretty much I think any Puppet Master would be him now. But yeah, they bleed together. I mean, the biggest problem, none of these are like what I would call awful. They just, you're going back to World War II and you don't come anywhere close to 3.
Yeah.
So it just feels like they've overstayed their welcome in that timeline. And I mean, all things considered, for what they made these movies for, they do an okay job. But believe me, I've tried. Period piece, it's hard to do for no money. It's very hard to do, and it's not great, but they're watchable.
It's funny. I said my notes for the next movie, Axis Rising.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember much, but I'm tired of the Nazis in these movies. That's my only note for that one. I just realized.
Whenever we get to this one, has like one of the best puppets ever. When we get to it,
Axis Rising.
yes.
Yeah, there's some bright spots.
I like the whenever you're ready, I'll talk about it.
We'll get started. I just want to catch up with the chat. Hello, Lewis Clark. I think I've seen you around other places. Love the Angel. You said that the Angels abandoned Kory. Did I read that right?
They did, I guess. Yeah.
Anyone see his tour? I know. Other than a few clips from the videos like Jay just showed a few minutes ago, I haven't seen much if you're talking Kory Feldman.
I don't think Haim's going to play any shows anytime soon.
He looks like Gaston from Beauty and the Beast.
There was one little comparison I wanted to make. The Access movies actually start to look like the first three Hatchet movies, where like the first one looked really good and then they slowly just went down. So,
were they all filmed at the same time?
I don't.
The last couple I think might have been back to back, if I remember right.
There's a pretty big gap between the second and third one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ghost is in to help donate for the Kory Feldman Jay the Stingray birthday bash.
There we go.
Start a GoFundMe right now.
I don't think I'm going to be because
Jay, what are you turning
If I'm
50?
invited, I'm coming.
You're all invited. Of course you're invited.
I
don't do
might
that.
not be because I talked some shit, but
Yeah, and I'm going to show him all this playback.
He's
I'm
gonna fight you.
the only one that has your back.
And for the record, guys, that's not a joke. I really do want him to play my birthday. Like, it would
Yeah.
be really cool.
Yeah, put a good word out there for Jay the Stingray. That would be freaking awesome.
maybe we can make it happen. Like, make one of us like a hot Hollywood producer that's looking to do Goonies too. Sort of like just dangle a carrot and get him in there somehow that way.
I am looking to do Goonies too, but they won't talk to me.
They might, Jess. You never know.
I got these ideas, man, burning through my skull. Axis Rising. All I've said what I needed to say about it. Anybody? And Jake, I know you still have.
I like the addition of like having Nazi puppets, so they actually have puppets to fight. And I can't remember if it's got to be this one, but the chick puppet, the Nazi chick puppet, she's
Bombshell.
got she's got boobs. Her boobs are guns. It's awesome.
Yes, that was cool. Like I will give it. Some of these are very short and not a lot of money, but I did like the additional puppets. Some people will criticize this as just band looking to sell more toys, and that's true, but they were cool.
Ain't that a hard sell though? Selling Nazi puppets?
He sells literally. You can go to Full Moon Direct right now. He sells a doll from another movie called Butt Pirate and Crack Whore. So,
them are all better than Nazis, though.
Well, that's true, but I'm just saying he's not politically correct. He will.
Which movies are those from?
Which one? I think that was Ooga Booga was the movie that he did. I believe. Yeah, he has a bunch of them on Full Moon.
Wasn't Ooga Booga part of was it Dangerous Worry Dolls movie or?
I think it ties into a couple things, but kind of, sort of. Karen Black was in that. That was actually one of her last movies. Yeah. I can't remember exactly what ties into it though. But there's action figures. So Jess is disappearing because he's buying Crack Whore and Butt Pirate.
Shh, quiet.
And Kamikaze was cool too.
Yeah.
All thing is, I mean, if you were going to do it, this is a good way to do it. To give the puppets something to go up against other puppets. I mean, it's a lot. It makes it more fun and enjoyable, entertaining, anyways, to watch.
Yeah, if they had a little more money, this is definitely a cool concept.
Yeah. Jetson, am I?
He is. I'm telling you, he's getting the credit card out.
It was denied.
You better get it. You never know if he's going to find that in his warehouse again. Once Crackcore is gone, she is gone.
Kind of getting into the Hatchet. Hatchet one was okay. I liked it enough. Sequels, it just to me gets worse and worse. But
I'm
if
sorry.
you enjoy them.
I didn't like any of them.
Watch Hatchet 2 for Danielle Harris's eyebrow.
For that eyebrow that's way up here.
It's still like that. I think it's
Where
like.
at. Wish I had
Really?
a pen up here. I'd draw an eyebrow way up here.
So what's the nudity ratio to the new ones?
In Puppet Master?
Yeah.
Never been a big thing in Puppet Master. I know Blade Iron Cross has a little bit, but
I would have
some
to
of the
say-
Part
earlier
three
Puppet
was
Masters.
there was quite a bit in part
Yeah, there was
3.
Oh yeah.
yeah, 3. Yeah,
3 is
not for a
definitely
while.
probably the sleaziest. You had
Mhm.
hookers and there's a lot of nudity in it.
It's
A
funny
little
when his
bit in
eyes
1 and
pop
2,
out.
but
If you want some sleaze indie fandom, just look up his softcore line, Charles Band Softcore Company.
Surrender Cinema, yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Horrendous. Oh.
A lot of
I'll
that's
talk-
on the streaming service too.
Yeah, and I'll
There
talk
are
to
some
you,
that are edited. Be careful.
Dan. I got something to ask you when we get off about that.
Sure.
Which leads us to Puppet Master Access Termination.
oh god.
Look at Torch.
And Kory told me that this one was not even worth the watch, so I've never seen it.
I think I watched 10 minutes of this and I turned it off. It is bad. Like unwatchable bad.
Yeah,
I would
Anybody
rather
here
watch
watched it all the
Legacy
way
than
through?
this.
You'd rather watch Legacy than that one?
Yes, I would.
Wow.
Wow.
I like the werewolf.
I would rather watch
Puppet.
Legacy on rewind in slow motion
Oh,
with subtitles than
oh.
watch this. This is horrible. They should have stopped at the last one.
I get some.
Don't spit out
Wow.
your water, Jess.
Those are fighting words. It sounds like to Jake.
No,
Jake,
no.
are you the only one here who's watched it all the way through?
I'm sure me and Dan have.
Dan?
I've watched it. It's
Okay.
not good.
It's
mean-
no, it's not. But I don't think it's bad as Legacy. And
I mean,
again,
it is
thought
a
like
movie.
I like the werewolf
So.
puppet. I thought that was cool. Yeah, about as Dan. It's a movie. I mean,
Yeah, so
Jay or Orc?
Legacy's not a movie, so
No, I didn't think so.
I haven't
Neither
seen
have
it. I haven't seen any of the Access films.
Hey,
Yeah.
Greg, what's up, man?
Yo.
Thanks for coming by.
Judging by you guys' glowing reviews, I'm sure this one's going to be a lot of fun to watch.
well, I would tell you watch all of them, but that's just for me who loves this kind of stuff. So,
I love your
So-
passion, Jake, and I'm glad to have you here.
What
thank
we're
you.
we're realizing that Charles Band is a shitty director, right?
I mean,
no, I don't agree with that.
He's a great, well, I don't want to say great because he does a few sleazy things, but he's got some points as a producer, as a production head, whatever you want to call him.
It's very hard to make a movie about evil dolls with the chain
no money.
in your couch. It's tough.
Yeah.
I
So-
feel like he's the guy when you're putting gas in your car, he wants to bum a cigarette, and you come on, man. A couple bucks, man.
Well, maybe production quality is going to go up. That he's doing everything in Ohio now. Everything should be cheaper.
Yeah, it's a good idea. Yeah,
Yeah. He should have done it a long time ago. Get the fuck out of California. He wants to be there
Yeah.
anyway.
yeah. It's not. You can't film there anymore,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
especially now.
So yeah.
There's two more.
Well,
Yeah, I was kind of curious what order you're going to do because I'm trying to remember which came first.
The remake came first.
Well, I was just
Yeah.
going to get to that. A lot of you here and maybe even watching probably know that I am not a big fan of remakes or reboots or anything that wipes out continuity of the previous films.
Reboot. This is separate. Yeah.
Yeah. So, or reimagining, whatever
Reimagining.
you want to
Yeah,
call
that's
it.
the word.
Yeah, it's
Fucking
not
hate
a
that word.
yeah,
But-
not a remake.
Guys, hold yourselves because I like this movie a lot.
Whoa.
I do too. Yeah.
Yep.
Puppet
Thomas Lennon's
Master,
in that?
The
Yes.
Littlest Reich.
And it's not Charles Band, Full Moon Associated.
Right, that's why it's good.
Charles Band does have a producer's credit on it.
Credit.
For
Yeah,
what it's
He
worth.
didn't, I don't think he had nothing.
He got a payday.
Vanity
Yeah.
credit.
He didn't have.
He got enough money to move to Ohio, so
Well, you can buy a pretty nice house then, I'm sure. Sell your stuff in Cali. But yeah, it's a great movie. Well, not great, but as far as Puppet Master goes, I think it's brilliant. It was a fun, entertaining, wild ride. Not boring at all.
Dolls are going back to being evil in this one.
Yeah, I'd say so. And it's cool. It's got some cool moments for sure.
yeah.
But they
And
kinda
funny
make-
moments, hilarious moments in this. And
Yeah,
Jess,
I was. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
no, go ahead. Go ahead.
I thought there's a delay there. I'm sorry. Yeah, this movie's actually fucking awesome. I love Puppet Master Littlest Reich. Now, again, it has nothing to do with the others, so you have to separate. Yeah, the puppets look a little different. It's not the same, but this feels like the Avengers compared to most of the recent in terms of budget.
It's true.
It is, yeah. I mean, if you're looking for
Good fun.
creative kills beginning to end in this thing, and Thomas Lennon is hilarious. I love him. We also get horror legends Barbara Crampton, Udo Kier, beginning to end. I think this movie is so good, and I'm sorry, I'm good if Full Moon doesn't do their own Puppet Master at this point. It is what it is. I mean, you can see what they were capable of. And I highly, highly recommend to Evil Dead fans, the director duo that made this film also did a movie called Wither that nobody has really seen it, and it is so good. I think they're oh god, I forgot. I think they're Swedish, so they made that in Sweden, and it is just a really good like Evil Dead style film. But back to this. It's so good. I had a blast with Littlest Reich.
Yeah.
What I was
think
going
it
to
was
say,
great.
Jess, was
Sorry.
you know me.
Awesome.
We've been friends for a long time, so if I make the comment or make a reference to the band Poison, I love that band. They're my all-time favorite band. This movie was like going to a Poison concert. It was a blast. I for what it's worth, my kids sat down and watched this movie with me, and they had a blast. So, and they're fairly squeamish when it comes to a lot of different things, but they even love this movie. So
It is. That's a great way to put it. It's just a lot of fun. It's a blast. If you've made it far in the Puppet Master movies, you definitely got to give this one a watch. It's just a fun time, and it is cool cover art for sure.
Yeah.
Go ahead. And
Yeah, the
that
puppets
in.
look different. I mean, that's it. And I know
Yeah.
some people complain about that, but man, was this a breath of fresh air? Because
Yes.
I was just done with Full Moon doing Puppet Master films.
Well, I'll say if anybody's complaining about the way they looked in this, just wait till the very last one.
Yeah.
I got some feelings, but
Mm.
Unskinny pop blows me. Hell yeah, Dan. Did you see this one, Courtney? I don't know.
Maybe my comment got deleted. I don't know.
So yeah, if you haven't seen it, got a wild hair, Jay, even Orc back there, you might really enjoy this one.
Yeah, I think it's on Amazon Prime too. Or it used to be. If you got that,
Oh, 4K.
Oh
Definitely
God.
worth a
Oh,
watch.
that's a purchase. Holy shit.
Where'd you?
Yeah. Well worth it too. I love this movie.
Hold on, let me find you, Dan.
Oh, it's okay.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
I
have
think
to
it's
check it out.
Yeah, I think it's a fairly cheap 4K too. Or at least it was last time I looked. Yeah, this one gets a high recommendation. There's a couple like little tiny things with the score and a couple other things, but man, it's just fun. It's just a really good movie.
Out of 10, what would you guys rate it? I think I'm the only one who hasn't seen it.
I haven't seen it.
It's hard to rate it on a regular scale as far as going against these.
Like
It's just
Puppet
it's
Master
good
scale?
fun. It's
Puppet
up
Master
there.
scale. It's way up there.
It's in my top 3.
Yeah, assuming you like these films, which not everybody does. I mean, I'd give it at least an 8. I mean, it does everything you could possibly want. Yeah.
It's definitely won't disappoint you. I think if you do decide to watch it.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
there
if
are
you're
some
a fair weather
yeah.
horror fan and you're just even slightly curious, this is probably the Puppet Master that'll entertain you.
Yes.
For sure.
Yes.
Well, all right. If anybody has any final thoughts, otherwise we'll go to the final one, which I haven't seen at all. It was just released last year, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
And it's technically a spin-off.
Yes.
Blade the Iron Cross. So as I know nothing about it, I'm gonna let you guys take the helm.
A Blade spinoff with not a lot of Blade.
And
Really?
Blade looks like dog shit.
Yeah.
When you do see him.
Oh, wow. So definitely a turn for the worst after the last Littlest Reich.
I did see this once, but I wasn't really paying too close attention. But from what I seen of it, or what I did see of it, it didn't sound too bad. But I could always go back and rewatch it.
I mean, if you like, and I think you do, like the whole Puppet Master, I think it's worth going back and rewatching it. I mean, when you do get to see Blade, he's pretty brutal in this. There's some cool, decent kills. I think there's one where he's like rips through a guy's stomach.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is some cool stuff in it. Just Blade looks, it's the worst I've ever seen him look.
Worse than Verse Demonic Toys?
You could play it out this
I didn't
movie.
think he looked that bad in Demonic Toys. Not as good as
I
some.
thought he did.
This looked like just literally the toy that you would have bought at Toys R Us back in the day. It was, yeah. You could do a better job if you just spring for the replica on Full Moon and just do your own movie.
Film your movie with that.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to dwell on it too much because leave on a high note. But this has been fun, guys. I mean, I can't believe we made it through. We're pushing almost 2 hours.
Oh, a lot of movies.
But,
that's not bad for like 15.
Yeah, 14, 15 movies.
Yeah.
And for the comic book fans, there's a bunch of comic books for them too. So,
yeah, you can get them in graphic novel form. I have all of those. I think they're all still in print. Well worth a lot that you want from the characters you will get in the comic books.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, we'll go around in a second and let you promote your channels. Kory and I, I'm sure we'll be back within the next month with at least one show, maybe even 2 of the Horror Rumble. Hopefully I'll get Jess Graham live going on the channel by next month, but no promises. And you can check out some other stuff on there. Any last words, Kory, before I go around in the room?
No, thank you guys for coming on. This was a blast.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Jay the Stingray, what do you got on your channel and stuff going on?
Yeah, you can find me, Jay the Stingray, on pretty much all social media, on YouTube. I do commentary every Wednesday at midnight Eastern Standard Time. I think this next week we've got Desperado, and then the following week is going to be Grandma's Boy.
Yes.
But they should have some more content up. Other than that, hopefully, got a bunch of stuff in the works. But I procrastinate a lot, so yeah, a lot of it doesn't ever actually get done. So
I can relate to that. Mr. Jake Slaughterport, what's going on your channel?
Oh, nothing. I'm probably worse than Jay at procrastinating. I got a lot of things I'd like to do, but I'm just too lazy to, move forward with them. But hopefully do another live stream or something sometime soon.
We're gonna do some more nightmare commentaries, or?
Yeah, I feel like we got to finish them, man. We made it this far.
oh yeah,
Hell yeah.
And I would like to be filming a video of showing off some more of my VHS collection, but that's if I feel like sitting down to record and edit a video.
That would be cool if you get to that. Definitely.
yeah, man. I'd love to see it.
Yeah. Dude, I got like today, and not to go too off far, when I was looking for the rest of them, dude, I got way more VHS tapes than I remember having. It's ridiculous. But, yeah.
Awesome. Go check them out. And Orc, I know you join a lot. You pop up on a lot of different shows all around the community. But what's your channel?
Orc 145626.
Excellent. Go check Orc out. He's one of the original YouTubers, along with Jay the Stingray. He's been around for a long time. So,
Yeah.
And Mr. Daniel Shine. He just got done with. Sorry, Orc. Sorry.
Thank you. That was so nice of you. And thanks for having me on the show, Kory and Jess.
All you guys, thank you for coming. Can't do it without you. So you make this a lot of fun and helping us along as we're starting out.
Definitely. Flesh Wound Features on YouTube. Check us out. I just did a collection update. We have a very big guest coming on at some point. I can't say who yet, but we're working out a date. So I think everybody will be excited for that one. And we post new content multiple times throughout the week. Yes. Oh, I don't know. I can't do it. Work. I try.
Go check them out. Go check everybody out. Thanks again, everybody, for coming on. Thanks, everybody in the chat for participating and everybody watching. We'll see you next time on the Horror Rumble. Later.